What is hidden behind the title of the Umbrella Academy? How come we missed multiple hints of Vanya's upcoming apocalypse? What foreshadowing is hidden in the wallpaper in the Hagreeves nursery? And what secret background of Sir Reginald's was lying on the surface the whole time? I'm Jim. Buckle up and beware of spoilers. The Secret Cameo. In case some of you didn't know, the Umbrella Academy is based on comic books by Gerard Way. Yes, that Gerard Way, who is the lead vocalist and co-founder of My Chemical Romance. Did you see his appearance in the show? We bet you didn't. Let's see where it happened. Vanya wrote a provocative book about what it's like to be number 7 beyond the Hagreeves kids. There's a scene where she goes back to her childhood home and takes her book from a shelf. Attentive viewers may have noticed a review on the back of the book. An incredible read, a revealing portal into the amazing life of Vanya Hargreeves and the life she has lived. I couldn't put it down. And even more attentive viewers noticed that this review was given by none other than Gerard Way himself. Pretty cool, but not so much for such a big star, right? The famous singer also made a small appearance singing Hazy Shade of Winter at the very end of the series. Hopefully we'll see more of Gerard Way in Season 2. Vanyas Apocalypse was always on the surface. You'll be surprised to know that there were lots of huge hints about Vanyas Apocalypse hidden in the series. For example, in the 3rd episode, Grace was doing her needlepoint. We bet in this scene your attention was drawn to the thread and needle in Grace's hand. But if you take a closer look at the image she was working on, you'll notice the foreshadowing of the moonbreak in the season finale. Maybe this means Grace knew things would end from the beginning, because her creator, Sir Reginald Hargreeves, was definitely aware of what was going to happen. Or maybe the showrunners were just having fun teasing the viewers. Another example of foreshadowing Vanyas Apocalypse is the bent power lines. Remember when number 5 was walking around in the future? The lampposts were all bent. Later in the series, and previously in the time chronology, as Vanya's powers begin to unleash, she accidentally warped the power lines exactly the same way they are warped in the future. Wow! More than that, when number 5 was in the future and saw the dead bodies of his siblings, the showrunners showed the faces of every kid except for Vanya, which was a huge foreshadowing. We know it's something that's impossible to notice while watching Umbrella Academy for the first time. But it's always fun to dig into such details. Plus, it's the perfect excuse to rewatch the show. Major hints of Vanya's superpowers. Besides foreshadowing the apocalypse, the showrunners also gave us 3 hints about number 7 having superpowers. The first hint can be found at the very beginning of the show. When Vanya finds out about her father's death, she watches the news on a TV in a store, and it starts raining. Yes, it's a small hint, but it still counts. The second hint is hidden in the scene where we see Sir Reginald Hargreeves' diary. It appears really fast, but if you pause the scene, you might notice his spidery notes about number 7. Astonishing, absolutely astonishing, seems to exhibit real force and power. And the third hint can be found in a flashback scene where Sir Reginald Hargreeves is monitoring the kid's brain activity. It now seems almost impossible that we would have missed the fact that number 7 had much more activity than anyone else. But all of these are nothing compared to the craziest foreshadowing that hides in the title of the series. Have you ever wondered why the Academy is really called Umbrella? If you take a closer look at the Hagreeves kids' uniform, you'll see the motto of the Academy, Ut Malum Pluvium. It's Latin. Yes, it's not very good Latin, but it's still translatable. The motto says, when evil reigns. What can hide people from rain? An umbrella. And who became the true evil of the first season and who makes the sky rain when she gets emotional? Vanya. Which means that the whole story of Season 1 was hidden in the kid's uniform from the very beginning. Isn't that mind-blowing? Klauss is deeper than you think. Let's talk about number 5. Klauss's superpower is communicating with those who are in the afterlife, like with Ben, for example. A small but still significant detail was hidden in the scene where 5 comes back from the future. Klauss asks his siblings if they can see the kid or if it's just him. And it's not just a cliche. It's a cool touch because Klauss can't be sure if 5 is dead or alive. And you probably missed this small detail as you were more focused on the spectacular scene of number 5 breaking through time and space. By the way, it's really fun to watch how this scene was filmed. Anyway, as ironic as it is, Klauss is afraid of his creepy ability. So that's why we see him high most of the time at the beginning of Season 1. And here's where the showrunners have hidden another cool foreshadowing. The more high Klauss is, the less power he has. Remember how Ben first appeared? He could hardly see his face under his hood because Klauss was high as hell. But as the show goes on, Klauss gets more sober and Ben loses his hood and becomes more clearly visible. In episode 7, we can even see Ben's shadow, which started a really great fan theory. Klauss can bring people back to life, temporarily. And indeed, at the end of Season 1, Ben becomes a full-on manifestation and fought alongside his siblings. And this could only happen because of Sir Reginald Hargreeves. In episode 7, Klauss dies in a rave scene for a couple of minutes and sees his dad in the afterlife. In a conversation with Reginald, Klauss finds out that he has much more potential than just communicating with dead people, which foreshadows the growth of his superpower. Now we know that he can temporarily bring dead people to our world, as he did with Ben in the season finale. But here comes the interesting thing about it. Will Klauss be able to bring Ben with the family after their jump in time? What do you think? Number 5's mind-blowing Easter egg. The showrunners didn't miss their chance to hide several secrets and foreshadowings when creating number 5's storyline. Let's start with a small one. We heard in the first episode that Vanya made a peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich for her missing brother. And when number 5 comes back to the present, the first thing he does is fix himself a peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich. Because he obviously didn't have a lot of food choices in the apocalyptic future, right? And coming back home after years of being missed pushed him to eat his favorite sandwich. Here comes our favorite and mind-blowing detail about number 5. Did you take a close look at the wallpaper in the Hagreeves nursery? We bet you didn't. And here's what you missed. A painted boy lugging a red wagon with a mannequin inside. Wait, what? The painting on the wallpaper predicted the future. How is that even possible? Fans on Twitter pointed this out to actor who portrayed number 5, Aidan Gallagher. What is your character doing there? And Gallagher didn't miss this chance to answer. There's stuff like this planted all over the place. You have to watch for it. Thanks, Aidan. That's what we've all been doing for months. But seriously, how could that even be possible? Could Sir Reginald Hargreeves predicted that much? Or maybe number 5 unconsciously copied the pattern he saw as a little kid. Or maybe this Easter egg doesn't have any secret meaning behind it. Maybe it was made by the showrunners just for fun, so the fans would spot it and start discussing it. Pogo isn't the only one. Before we talk about Sir Reginald Hargreeves' biggest foreshadowing, let's briefly mention several other cool hidden details in the show. Pogo got some unexpected attention from the showrunners too. Like for example, in the first episode, during the funeral scene, Pogo says,
"In all regards, Sir Reginald Hargreeves made me what I am today."
So what, you may ask? Indeed, a regular viewer won't get the hidden meaning of this phrase. But to those fans who have read the comic books, this line may have a deeper meaning. It refers to the fact that Hagreeves presented to the whole chimp species human-like abilities. So Pogo isn't just a one-of-a-kind smart chimp. There are many others just like him. That's why we consider Pogo's line at the funeral to be a possible foreshadowing for more of his species appearing in Season 2. Another detail that doesn't allow fans to sleep peacefully is the Secret Lady. She appears at least 4 times in the show as different characters. Yes, we're talking about the lady who runs away during the bank robbery, and who appears in the rave scene where Klauss dies for a few minutes, and who rides the same bus with Klauss in episode 4, and who approaches the siblings in the bowling scene too. So the question is, who is this woman? What does she foreshadow? The most popular theory is that she is probably an agent of the Commission, a spy, and her appearance may foreshadow the big stand between the Hagreeves and the Commission in Season 2. Sir Hargreeves is not who he says he is. Have you ever wondered who the siblings' father is? We mean, what is his true backstory? Attentive fans and those who have read the comic books for sure know the answer. But for the rest of you out there, get ready to be shocked. There were at least 2 huge hints about who Sir Reginald is. The first one was at the very beginning of episode 1. When Sir Reginald was first introduced, we saw a weird spaceship flying over Moscow. And the second hint was in the very last episode of Season 1. Remember that futuristic scene where Hagreeves was in a very strange place full of rockets flying into the sky? Of course you do. I'm sure you had lots of questions after watching it. According to the source material, Sir Reginald Hargreeves is an alien of an unknown species that came to our world from another planet. Insane, right? The coolest part about it is that the comic book never showed his true face. That's why Netflix had to invent it themselves, and no doubt they'll need to clear things up about his background in the next episodes. Let's be patient and wait a little bit more and see. What other crazy details do you think the showrunners will hide for us in Season 2? Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel, and as always, thanks for staying awesome.